Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine. Hey, no, come here, Rear Scout. Internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that has to override the dogs. Hey, come here. Come on, get back here. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for watching my channel. My kids are just too confused this morning. For Chief, look here. Chief boy, come here. Chief or Chiefer. Come here, Chiefy. I'm going to call him Chiefy boy. Hey, we got a brand new little puppy. A German Shepherd. Hey, is he going to follow the pack? Is he going to go to the barn? Is he going to get used to the routine? Come on, Chiefy. Come on there, Scouty. Come on, little boy. Look here. Look. He's already got him trained to come to the barn. Come on. Or do I? Oh, my goodness. Thanks for tuning in. Watch my channel. The Internal Combustion Engine Age YouTube channel talks about the cars and trucks and SUVs and dogs and the kids.
I was wanting to hang out with him in the kitchen.
Well, go ahead. Take him. All right, little Chiefy boy, we'll see you later. See you later, Chiefy boy. Yeah, okay, so, oh my gosh, the projects. Yeah, I got a new little puppy. Got another dog. How crazy am I? Up to 5 dogs. Hey, you like the new look of the glasses? My other glasses are getting worn out. I should get my eyes examined. Should have my head examined, right? Oh my gosh, what a beautiful, just beautiful. It's just that time of year. It's June 15th. And the weather's just so nice. It's not humid. It's just nice. Just a great summer type of day. And cut grass yesterday afternoon. And grass right now is pretty manageable because we're kind of not getting tons of rain. And boy, oh boy, I got a project here. This Ford F-250 Tremor Carly package needs to get the E-steps on. I got to get motivated to do that. Come on, pups. Where are ya? Come on. Got the Ford Power Boost out today to work out of. Been working out of the Lightning truck. Come on, pups. And gonna switch it up. I just love that Power Boost. That damn thing is just so nice. I mean, I gave up the Raptor for that. I mean, look at that vehicle there. Look at the image of that Ford F-150 Power Boost. I'm telling you, it has such a characteristic to that front end of the F-250. Look here. Look at the F-250 front end. Okay. Versus look at the front end of that F-150. I think it has such a good look. For some reason, the Lightning just doesn't have that manly of a look of an image. It just doesn't have the same look. What is it about that? Is it the mirrors? It's that plug up there. I don't know what it is. Hey, Willow! Oh my gosh, it just doesn't end. Calling the dogs. And I got another dog to a challenge. Come on, Willow! Hey, Willow! He's way over there in the property back there. Come on, boy! Oh, look! Whoa! Come on, boy! Come on! Here he goes. Yeah, so image. I thought to myself this morning, let's start the conversation today of image, or do we start maybe we use that today. I was debating on statistics or image. And maybe we'll just go with image. Let me get my gate or my barn door thing. Oh, I got some new helmets last night. We're just all over the place here traveling around. I got to thinking I should get another set of helmets. So I did. This is the first time that I've bought Bell helmets in years. And I really think Bell recently has kind of gotten a little better in their product. I got an SRT modular helmet for me and one for the daughter. Because I leave my helmets, the gear, I just rather have, double up on my gear. And I'm really excited because for Bell, that was my favorite helmet growing up. The image of Bell was such a big thing back in the 70s and even maybe the 80s of just being the really well-designed, built helmet. Then it kind of disappeared. And so anyways, brand new. I like the theme. And my daughter really likes that matte black. So keep it the image conversation. And is that what we're all about? I mean, if you look at my shop and you see my, a lot of people, see my image, right? What's my image? What am I, radiating back to others? I'm a car nut. I'm a motorcycle nut. I'm a frickin' truck nut. I'm just a motorhead nut to the max. I mean, that's what I am. Come on, pups. Come on, get up here. Let's go. Come on, get the morning going here. And those are my boxes so the little puppy won't fall down the stairs. yeah, I got to build a little. Had to build a little safety net for the puppy. Yeah, German Shepherd puppy. Boy, oh boy. Channel to see. Was it last Friday? I tell you what, I just can't. I think it was last Friday that I looked at that puppy, and you saw the video of us being down there in Tennessee at Bass Pro Shops, and the Shepherd Works lady Amanda is a breeder of German Shepherd dogs, and see my Jeep hat, see my glasses. I changed out my glasses because our glasses are just getting so scratched up. Get the day going. I need more coffee. Just, we ride around the lawnmower for 2-3 hours. I didn't even finish up cutting grass until frickin' like 8 o'clock last night. I mean, and it's another day, just busy. So yeah, does that wear you down? It does. So anyways, yeah, so we got a new German Shepherd. Now, there you go, there's the image. So what's the image of a German Shepherd? I mean, I'm sure many people are like, yeah, it's a guard dog. It's an aggressive dog. It's a biting dog. Yeah. My best friend had a German Shepherd when I was growing up, and that thing tried to bite me. I've never really been a German Shepherd fan because of when I was younger, I just always kind of felt like they're too aggressive and they're too mean and they'll bite you. But at the same time, I've been trying to come to closure here the last few months of maybe getting another dog, even though I'm like, oh my gosh, as you progress in life, you just start to realize it's just so much work, it's money, and if it wasn't for my kid, there's no way I'd be getting another dog. But I kind of came to closure. My daughter now rides around occasionally by herself, working for me, and I tell you what, man, just anymore, it's just so sad. It's just incredible what we're witnessing today more than ever. The images you see on videos on Twitter and other social media platforms, I mean, you see some of these images of what goes on. It's just nerve-wracking. It's just, very disconcerting and just, So I just kind of came to closure that I think it'd be advantageous for my daughter to have a dog with her in a vehicle when she travels around and kind of works out in the field for me. And that dog could hopefully be a protection for her. Hopefully the dog will scare others off. Hopefully the dog will alert her if anybody's approaching the vehicle. I mean, so there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes of me getting that German Shepherd. And it's interesting because I kind of posted some shorts on the dog, and a few people kind of called me out, like, why would you go get a freaking dog when you go to the pound and get a dog? Well, for the record, I've done that a few times. So, for the record, yeah, I've rescued dogs. I've done that. And in all sincereness, if it wasn't for more of a specific dog, then yeah. But I always go to just every now and then, I look locally here for dogs. And what's incredible is you would think that there'd be a huge influx of people banning their dogs because of the so-called dire straits of times, and I just don't see it. I mean, sadly, the most common dog you see at pounds are pit bulls. That's the most common adoptable animal you see. And in the pit bulls, I'm not a fan of them, but I know there can be an extremely good dog. But that's the most, but why? I mean, it just gets too deep on why that plays out, which I'm not going to spend the morning talking all about that. But the whole point is, you just saw the new dog, and his name's Kiefer, but I want to call him Chief. So his name is Kiefer, and I like the name Chief personally. I've never had a dog named Chief, and I think he's going to be the chief dog. He's a really smart dog. That dog's already acclimated to the pack really well. Other dogs are kind of still getting used to him, and that's another thing. People are like, well, you should have just adopted a dog. Yeah, but you adopt a grown dog to, adapt to my grown dogs. I don't know. I mean, I just think that's going to be even more challenging. So anyways, anybody out there watch my channel, I have rescued dogs. I've done that. And, by all means, if there was a German Shepherd puppy at the pound, would I pick it up? I'd pick it up in a heartbeat. Yeah, good luck. Good luck you finding a purebred German Shepherd puppy at £1. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, yeah. Hey, anybody out there has one? I'll take another one. I wanted a second one. The breeder wouldn't do it. She had 2 German Shepherd puppies, and she wouldn't do it. I'm not lying. She was like, nope. Nope. She's like, I'm not letting you take 2. I'm not lying. I'm like, I want to get 2 German Shepherd puppies from me. She's like, no, can't. She's very, she's very dedicated to her business. She's a great trainer, a great breeder. And some people think it's all about the money. And I'm going to tell you what. Yeah, I mean, of course, she has to make money. But at the same time, she's strict. You may not qualify to buy a dog from Shepherd Works. On Instagram, if anybody's out there interested in a nice German Shepherd, she has great prices. She has great dogs, a great line. So she's watching my channel this morning. Thank you for selling us a beautiful dog. It's a great dog. It really is. And she took the time to kind of evaluate our family and who we are, and she came to closure. That was the right puppy. She had another puppy, and she just felt like that one may be just a little too more challenging to acclimate with a family and to train. So, and it's all about the image. So you think about this, I was just saying, the image of a German Shepherd, the image of a Pit Bull, Dalmatian, Rottweiler. You can start going through the list of dogs, Boxer, and those dogs typically give you the image of they're going to bite you. They're going to take you out. And versus you have a Pomeranian. Yeah, I've had a few of those. I have. What's the image of a Pomeranian, right? What's the image, of a little poodle? What's the image of my big poodles besides sometimes drive me nuts, like Willow Pillow here? So image. So then we take it to the car and motorcycle. I mean, who here doesn't buy a car, truck, motorcycle, SUV, whatever it may be in the Motorhead collection, and it's all about the image. I mean, come on. I mean, sincerely, if you're a true Motorhead, you're going to buy something that you feel radiates an image of something that you want to be who you are. I mean, isn't that kind of, the guy or gal that has the big lifted 4-wheel drive truck, I mean, what's the image? What's the image of what who do you think that person is? And that's what's so classic and neat about how each one of us has a draw to something we want, and it portrays in so many ways of really kind of who we are. I mean, who has been driving on the road and you see the Prius and you automatically start kind of, assuming the Prius owner is this type of political party. Are they Republican? Are they Democrat? Are they independent? Is it a very, flower power loving person? I mean, we start kind of, we use the image of these cars and we start then kind of coming to think we know who the person is. And you've got the guy in the Corvette. I mean, you typically see a Corvette going down the road. I mean, the reality in today's world of the C8 Corvettes is majority of guys my age or older driving them. But at the same time, when you see a Corvette, typically you think it's some young stud guy. Rarely do you think it's a girl driving it. I mean, so typically the Corvette radiates the single guy looking to go out and do the bar hopping and looking for the ladies. Right? I mean, does that kind of, the muscle head maybe? You look at the Mustangs. Tell you what, the girls love the Mustangs. Girls love the Camaros. So a lot of times you'll be driving on the road and you kind of have a hard time telling if that person driving that Mustang is a guy or a girl. And what's your thoughts when you see the Mustang person with a loud exhaust on it? Yeah, that they're cool. That they want to be cool. They want to be seen in their hot rod. And that's a vast array. I think when you go to the Mustang, boy, it can go from every age group. Isn't that something, how the Mustang truly... And that's when Ford brought that car on the market back in the 60s, that was kind of their kind of goal, was just to really offer a car that would be affordable fun for the family. Isn't that something? that was more versus you think about the Corvette. Was that the design feature? No, that was the racing. You can go through the list of the performance vehicles that didn't have the family per se in mind. So you go to driving down the road and you see a guy in an electric vehicle. What do you think of that person, right? You green agenda traitor. You ice age hater. You're the ESG person, environmental, social governance. I mean, the ESG, what's that all about? Oh, here we go. Like my watch is driving me nuts with notifications. So let's see if what's another, Volkswagen Beetle, Volkswagen Bus, back in the 70s. What was your image of somebody that owned a Volkswagen Bus? It was a hippie. You would typically think it's a pot smoking hippie, long hair, the flower power, the what was the festival in New York? The Woodstock. I mean, all right. So then we go to the Cadillac, right? You go to the Cadillac. My dad was such a guy, the Cadillac guy. So you think about the Cadillac. Oh my gosh, the Cadillac was such an image of success. And to a degree, it could be the kind of the hotshot guy. I mean, wasn't Elvis a Cadillac guy? There could be a single guy, but at the same time, the Cadillac was the image of that you had succeeded in life, you had a good job, you had the nice home, family. I mean, right? I mean, is that kind of where that came from? Then you kind of go to the Ford side, and that's what's interesting. Came on the Cadillac side, Pontiac came along with the Bonnevilles and kind of competing in some ways with the Cadillac, but it was more of the family car, affordable car. So Pontiac was kind of known more of being the lesser of the two, but it's still a nice car, but not as optioned out as well. Then Buick. It's hard to believe Buick is still around. Buick has had such a following. It's incredible how, in my eyes, when the GM went bankrupt and the government forced them to get rid of brands, I was so disappointed they got rid of the Pontiac brand. I like the Pontiac brand. I had Pontiac Grand Prix. What was that Pontiac GS7? I mean, the Pontiac GTO came back, an Australian-based car, but Pontiac kind of had some performance stuff. And the Buicks, they kept the Buick GMC. Believe it or not, I've talked about this before. Corvette was on the chopping block. Corvette, back in like 2010 or 11, was going to be eliminated. And Corvette brand had to beg and plead the Obama administration, governing bodies, not to get rid of that product brand. Got rid of Hummer, got rid of Pontiac, got rid of Saturn. Yeah, what was the Saturn image? I mean, if you bought a Saturn, what was that image? That you were some successful, Saturn was a price vehicle. Price fixing. That was classic to me. It's like, oh, it's just one price fits everybody. Like, yeah, they just marked the price up to the max, no negotiation. Every dealer has to stand by it. And there's your Saturn car you got to steal for, right? Then you kind of go into, I was talking about the Ford. And since I was never a Ford guy growing up, I just wasn't fixated. Like the Ford Granada. I mean, to me, my neighbor back in New Jersey, his father bought one of those. And to me, I just thought that thing was a piece of junk. I mean, in 1978, 79, the Ford Granada, oh my gosh. I mean, that was the era of just junk beyond junk. And what was some other things? The Ford trucks were always cool. The Ford Bronco, well, that was always really cool. But it was always an image of just somebody had money for something they didn't need. I mean, back in the 70s and 60s, people had 2 or 3 cars. That was huge. I mean, it's incredible how today, I bet you the average family has 4 to 5 vehicles. Back in the 60s and 70s, it was usually a 1-2 car family of that. So if somebody had the Ford, Bronco, that was just the extra money sitting around for the playtime, just like the Corvettes. And then the Camaros, same image. To me, that was the high school, the 20-ish year old person that was buying those. And what other brands were out there? AMC, the Gremlin. Yeah, yeah. That was a unique individual bought the Gremlin. Even though they had the AMC Javelin, that was pretty cool. Kind of weird looking. And then you go into like the foreign cars. So when the foreign cars back in the 70s, when those came, those were all about the gas misers. And you're getting a cheap vehicle, meaning it's less expensive than the domestic brand, and it's smaller, and it's underpowered, but it gets good fuel economy. So the the Honda. I don't forget my dad's friend bought a Honda Civic. I talked about this before. And this guy was like 6'2", 6'4". And this is back when the Honda Civic was like a go-kart. And I'm not lying to you. When he brought that car over to my dad's house, I swear the tires were that big. Yeah, so what image was that? That was the image of the guy wanting to, save money on gas. So Honda just started coming in. Toyota started coming in. Toyota Land Cruiser. Oh, I still, to this day, I only wish in 1973, I think it was 73 or 74 in California, I saw that a red Toyota Land Cruiser, FJ Cruiser. Oh my gosh. I so badly wanted my dad to buy one. He couldn't. Even back then, I think that was $6,000 or $7,000. I think the average price for a car back then was like maybe $5,000. So it was just too expensive. So he didn't justify it. But what image was that? That was a Highline. That would be for just like the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. I talked about it before and I bought that. When back in the 70s, if you owned a Jeep Grand Wagoneer, you were a status symbol. You were looked at as a very wealthy, well-to-do person. And then Volkswagen was making the Golf. The Volkswagen, I should say, the Rabbit came back. I remember my friend's parents bought the Volkswagen Rabbit diesel, which they bought it for the fuel economy. And the thing got great fuel economy. But it was just a box, even though down the road, 1983, fall of 83, I got a brand new Volkswagen GTI. It was the 84 model. First model brought from Europe. Man, I just can't believe how I crashed that damn thing. That damn thing today is sought after like you can't believe. But what was the image of Volkswagen, right? If you own a Volkswagen, was it you're some, elitist, well-to-do, incredibly successful person per se? Not so much. So then you go to the Mercedes-Benz brand, the BMW brand, and the Audi brand to a degree. But back in the 70s, the Audis still just hadn't worked out their quirks per se. So the Mercedes-Benz was definitely the status. BMW was just kind of starting to get here, and they were just small little cars. I laughed at them when I saw those things coming here, so I didn't really know much about them. So that still didn't have kind of the status. I would have to say back in the 70s that it was probably the Cadillac brand, the Oldsmobile brand, that kind of really in our country was really the status car to a degree. And Mercedes, but that was like Mercedes, that was just such a rare brand and so expensive. And it just seemed more that the foreigners that have moved here were more kind of driving those more so than. But, you go to the doctors and everything. So it's all about the image. So for all of us here, we go buy things, and it's a reflection in so many ways of who we are. And that's why today, more than ever, the ICE age versus the EV age, it's just incredible on how, as time progresses, with this ESG and the woke movement in our country, more than ever, that you're going to be frowned upon. It's incredible to think that, no doubt in my mind, 10 years from now, you're driving an ICE vehicle. And in so many aspects, you're going to be shamed. You're going to be shamed because the social media machine brainwashing is through the roof. And the ESG, environmental, social governance, is economic, social governance, whatever you want to say, is the driving factor more than ever of where we are in today's society, of people evaluating what makes sense to where you put your money. And that's what they're talking about this morning on the news, is that, believe it or not, Marlboro Man, the man that was the big, the cool-looking guy smoking a cigarette, the Western-looking cigarette guy, his ESG score is like 84 and Tesla is like 36. So Elon Musk, he's calling out this ESG thing, that it's a total joke on how people evaluate companies for return on investments using the ESG standards. So you're better off investing in the smokers' future than the Tesla future. Now, I mean, for anybody here, do you really believe that? And that's why I thought to myself, maybe we'll talk about statistics tomorrow. But I mean, do you believe that number? That the Marble Man has a better return in investment over the Tesla? I'm thinking, anybody here that bought Tesla stock 10 years ago, you're probably still laughing every day of your life and how your $1,000 investment probably made you $100,000, maybe $1,000,000. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wow. Beyond believable. So Elon Musk is really calling this stuff out. But but that's the thing. It's all about the image more than ever. And that what was the SVB failure of the bank was so many called out that it's this ESG business model or investment model, I guess you could say, that the bank took people's money and invested it into a lot of the ESG type of businesses. And what came from that? Besides a massive banking failure of losses from using other people's monies. And then the Bank of Republic or whatever it is. Man, I can't even get track. Even for me, I can't even keep track of all these banks that are going broke. But the word is that it's the ESG business model. Then some aspects are driving these things into the ground. There's a lot of variables. I know that. So I'm not the one here to be the expert on it, but it's the ESG. It's the image. That's where it is more than ever. It's an incredible image of what so many believe is right versus wrong. Wow. There's a whole article talking about the Republican Party versus Democratic Party, the influence of big business and donations. The Republican Party, believe it or not, it's actually going down substantially. So the Republican Party, in so many ways, is losing ground to the ESG movement because some Republicans don't look at this as the proper way of the future of this country. But the Democratic Party is all over the ESG, and big business more than ever is all over the ESG. And so what they're saying is the Democratic Party now is getting the upper hand in big business money being funded to their policies and platform more than ever. And the Republican Party is losing traction and losing support and separating themselves from big business. And so it's borderline like a total opposite effect of what has been a major complaint between the two political parties over the years is the big business ruling the political powers. But for the record, it's now more Democratic big business control more than ever. And that's a challenge because the green agenda and the individuals that are pushing the green agenda and the organizations that I've talked about many, many times over the last year about how many independent and how many big organizations are green agenda funded that are attacking CEOs of companies to cater to the green agenda movement. You just don't have any choice. If you're a big executive of these companies anymore, you're on your own. I mean, you're walking the plank once you decide to take the position that you're not going to bend to all these policies. I've talked about it yesterday about Toyota, Akio Toyota, who's going to borderline trying to oust him of Toyota. So it's all about the image. Once again, I read an article this morning in depth about here's an individual that the complaint right now is in the green agenda is that the small countries don't have the finances and the backing to really build the infrastructure of green agenda. So they really need the big guys that are doing the most harm to the world to help them build out green agenda, but they're not getting it. So there's a huge complaint from the smaller countries in the world that's saying we can't follow along on these green agenda policies because we just don't have the monies. We just don't have the resources. And so they're literally are individuals now more than ever that are just their whole drive is trying to get the green agenda to be a worldwide platform for everybody. And people just, I mean, there's people today that all they're focused on all day today is green agenda, what they can do to advance the green agenda on raising money and policies and awareness. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. The main focal point more than ever in our modern times is all about saving Mother Earth and us getting away from fossil fuels and us getting more renewable energy and trying to make it a better world. But the challenges are huge, and it's just trillions. It's going to be trillions of dollars invested in the world to try to accomplish this net zero by 2050. And so many just think it's not realistic. But it's the image. Once again, that's what I just said here a few minutes ago. The image of this ice age people down the road, I think 10 years from now, you're going to be shamed. You're going to be looked at that you're a nuisance to society if you still own a gas or diesel vehicle. I mean, just incredible. So your image will be tarnished. You'll be looked at going down the road in certain areas. I mean, even to the point, it wouldn't surprise me that this goes back to the years of 2005, 6. Does anybody remember the Hummers being burned in San Francisco? Does anybody remember the early stages of the green agenda activists setting Hummers on fire? That they're so idiotic. That's the same motor as a Suburban. The damn thing gets this. I used to own it. The thing gets the same fuel mileage as a Suburban does, even a Chevy Tahoe. But their perception, it's a big old vehicle, so it only gets 8 miles a gallon when mine used to get 13, 14, 15 miles a gallon. But their perception was totally opposite. So they would burn these things, set them on fire, and torch them. So down the road, yeah, does the 10 years from now, is it even 10 years? Is it 5 years? The radical agendas that get these people all riled up, do they start setting the gasoline cars on fire? Because you're a nuisance to society. I mean, oh my gosh, the image. For us, we're coming from an era of the image of having the baddest ass car that has performance, exhaust note, noise, and burning that fuel and burning tires and just having a blast, to the image of down in the future will be the person that turns on the vehicle that whispers, or it has a fake exhaust note, and is the thing even running? Like yesterday, we were working out my Ford Electric Lightning, and my daughter is like, "Don't turn the truck off." I'm like, "I know." She's like, "You turned the truck off." I'm like, "I didn't." And she's like, "Yeah, I did." I'm like, "It's an electric truck. You can't hear it." She's like, I'm like, it's classic. That electric truck's so cool in that aspect. You can leave that thing running all day long. And they can remote lock it, so I can go into the restaurant or do whatever. You can leave the truck where if it's warm out, it continues to condition the interior of the car. But you can't hear it. It's not running because it's an electric truck. You may hear the fans running, but the daughter was so adamant about it. "You turned the truck off, Dad." I was like, "No, I didn't. I didn't turn it off. It's on." Yeah, so that's where it's all going. Yeah, I mean, you hear the story, sadly, of people that have these keyless ignitions that park their car in their garage, and then they all die from exhaust fumes. Yeah, have you heard these stories? Right. All right, that's it. I can talk all morning. That's just who I am. One guy posted the other day on my Bronco Raptor. I mean, I don't know. I get all these type of remarks. He's like, "You talk a lot, but you don't say anything." And I responded, "Damn, you sound like my wife." Anybody know these these stories? Yep, got the morning cough. As usual. But anyways, hey everybody, I appreciate everybody watching my channel. Got a new dog, got the training. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Just doesn't end, right? When am I going back to Tennessee to get my $10,000 repair truck F450, right? What's the next adventure, right? Oh yeah, I'm always up to something. You know that. All right, well, stay tuned. Hey everybody, have a great day. Beautiful day out there. God bless. Stay safe. Stay tuned.